Let's talk July, TBR, MBR, whatever this is gonna be, BR. Hello everyone, welcome back to A Fictional Escapist. My name is Kris, and today's video is the July TBR and also the July at a glance. As always, I know people are more interested in the TBR, so that will be first, and if you want to see what's happening this month, there'll be a timestamp down below for you to go ahead and check that out. Before we jump into the video today, make sure you're checking the description box down below for links to my social media and Discord, should you want to come along for the ride. Now, this month it feels a little bit different. I'm feeling not burnout, but just a little bit of a change of pace. I also am a planned reader through and through, so I can't just go effort and do a mood reading month because nothing will get read. I do need some sort of list and some form of structure to be able to go ahead and pick some reads. I do want to keep reading. I do want to try and limit the amount of big books that I have going on in July, so I'll likely be doing more small reads. I also do have an alpha read happening and a beta read happening, which is going to take up a bit of my brain space going forward into the month, so I don't know what books I'm going to get through. So I have an MBR for you with 3 books that are definitely on the list that will be read, and then the rest are sort of ones that I can go ahead and pick from. So, jumping into the 3 that will definitely be read, I will be finishing out the Wounded Kingdom trilogy with The King of Assassins, or just King of Assassins, by R.J. Barker. This is book 3 in that series, and I'll be finishing off this buddy read with Esme, who is now on the Before We Go blog. So congratulations to Esme for getting onto that blog. It's one that I follow, and yeah, I'm just very happy for her and happy to be doing this buddy read with her. The next one that I'll be doing on audio is Bastion by Phil Tucker. This is one of my good friends, Mark Timoney's favorite reads or favorite recent reads of the last couple of years, and he's been bugging me to read it for a while now. So I have the audio, I have the ebook, it's time. I'll be reading both King of Assassins and Bastion, definitely on audio this month. The other book that I definitely do want to read is Dragon Your Bones. This is book 2 in the Forging Age duology by Tatiana Obey. I read Bones to the Wind and was absolutely blown away by how impactful that new adult novel was. And it's not a story I would generally gravitate towards. One of the characters annoyed the shit out of me, but it was such an important read that I am dying to know what happens next and what other messages that Tatiana Obey can give me in the second book. So I'll be finishing out that duology. I also have realized that I have so many series on the go that I need to start closing some out. So they are the definites. Now, like I said, I've got an alpha and a beta read happening this month that will take up probably the first 10 days or so. I do like to give those types of reads my brain power. I take notes, I send reports back when I do them, so that will be happening in the first few days. I have 2 carryovers from the month of June, which I did not read because Malazan took up the entirety of my life for the second half of the month. One of those is Unanimity. This is by Alexandra Almeida, and I really want to read it, so I'm just going to keep putting this on lists until I read it as part of the MBR portion until it is done. And the other is Red Hail by Jamie Killen. This is a book that I'm to review for Epic Indie, so that will likely be the first one that I pick up because I do have a review copy that has been gifted to me for that, and I will prioritize that going into the month. The rest of the reads are things that I might pick up along the way. I don't know where I'll gravitate towards, but I do have a list which I'll go ahead and pick from. These are going to be SPF B09 books from my SPF B09 TBR that you saw a couple of weeks ago. They'll be series continuations of or review copies, essentially, that I have on this list. The first one on this list, which is a potential, is Gemma Calveston and the Forest of Despair, book 1. This is from Ryan Hoyt, and I actually saw this one on a Facebook post where I was just blown away by the cover. I absolutely loved it, and this says, "A heroine's first adventure, a kingdom's last hope." Gemma spends her days studying a war her father fought in before her birth, but she realizes that not everything is as it seems. When she sets off to interview an aging hero, she learns about an emerging threat to the kingdom prophesied by the forbidden factions of magic and religion. Since she can't go to the officials without incriminating her new friend Richard, they must set off together on a journey through an uncanny forest to confirm and neutralize the threat. Can they forge new alliances and defeat the forces of evil without the use of magic or the might of the military? If they fail, everyone they know will perish. I thought that sounded really cool. I loved the cover when I saw it on the Facebook post, and I reached out and said, would you mind if I did a review of this one? So I've got that one on the list as a potential review copy for the month of July. The next one on the list is a double whammy. It is one of my SPFB09 reads and also a review copy. This is Radar, A Tale of Altaisa. I probably butchered that pronunciation as well, and this one has definitely caught my attention with having a 6-year-old protagonist in a dark fantasy story. I have read the blurb out for this one before, so you can go check out the Spiffbo TBR if you do want to know a little bit more about it, but this one definitely has sparked my interest, so this one is on the list as well. The next one I have is a series continuation for The Will of the Wayfinder by Lily Ann Crow. This is River of Stars, book 2 in that series. I read book 1 last month, and I thought this author is super underrated, and I'm not sure why more people are not talking about her, but I really liked book 1, and I do want to continue on with book 2. They are on the shorter side of fantasy at about 400 pages, so this might be a nice one to slip in as well. The next book on the maybe list is The First Rule. This is by Stephen William Hanna, and it is the Blind Age book 1. This cover is stunning. It grabbed my attention straight away, and also this author is quite picky with their own reads, so I'm very interested into what's going to happen in their book. This one says, Vanalia is going to die. When the newly ordained priestess of the Mind's Eye returns home to bury her mentor, she meets the seer, Temple. In his dreams of the near future, Temple sees her go to certain death, facing a horror from the world below, a choir of dead whose songs enslaves the living. Vanalia's failure to protect the village is foretold, the village that has shunned her since childhood, but Vanalia is sworn to an oath, bound by the first rule of the priesthood to stand her ground against even the most hopeless of odds. Beset by corrupt leadership and an ungrateful flock, Vanalia must decide what her life is really worth. Perhaps it is better to die for something than to live for nothing. That sounds pretty cool, actually. So this is another one that's on the SPFB09 and also a review copy that has come to me. So we've got a couple of double ups here. The next two I actually have physically, and one that I'm really excited to read is The Doctrines of Fire. This is by C.J. Jarvis. This is a historical fantasy, bit of dark academia, and I have read the back of this one on one of these lists before. Again, it's in the SPFB09 TBR if you do want to go ahead and check that out. So that is also a possibility. Nice and short, a bit of a genre change up, even though it's still fantasy technically, but that dark academia vibes. Got some nice big font in the book there that will be a nice short read, hopefully. And also one that's been on my radar since I've seen the cover, and this is A Low Country by Morgan Shank. This is the Low Country trilogy, book number 1. You can tell I got this from Amazon because it's damaged. They always come damaged from Amazon. I really enjoy this author. I've had a good chat to him over on Instagram, so I'm looking forward to jumping into this book, and this month may be the month for it. And the last one on this list is again just going to continue to be on the maybe pile until I eventually read it, and that is book 4 in the world of Lunaria, which is Isa by L.L. McRae, a series which I really enjoyed so far, and I haven't read anything from this year yet. So this is the last book that is currently out in the series. I've been holding off because I don't want it to end and have to wait with the rest of the world, but I do also want to read the book. So potentially that is also another one on this list. That is the TBR. If you're tapping out now, then let me know what you're picking up this month in the comments down below, and we'll jump ahead to July at a glance. Welcome to July of 2023 and at a glance. So today you're getting this video, the TBR, and also the at a glance calendar. This month is going to be a little bit different. I have a few more planned videos in terms of series check-ins, mid-year goals check-ins, mid-year freakouts and whatnot, and I am going to be taking a break from vlogging. The next vlog will be in August. On Monday the 3rd, we'll have my mid-year goals check-in. I'm going to have a look at the goals I made at the beginning of the year or end of last year and just see what I have actually done versus if any of those things are still on my radar coming into the second half of the year. On the 6th of July, so Thursdays is always going to be a review day from here on out. I will have book 2 of the Song of Kamaria, On the Winds of Caesars, being reviewed on the 6th. On the Saturday the 8th, I'll do a quick June reading wrap-up where I go over everything I read in the month of June. Spoiler alert, it's just Malazan. And then on Sunday the 9th, I will be having my slightly delayed Q2 Queer Corner show that will be done with my friends Jeff, Jess, and Roger, who you've all seen before in the first one, will be joining me again for round 2. On Monday the 10th, I will have the indie releases from July 2023, hoping to get that out slightly earlier than the last 10 days of the month this time around, so look out for that one on the 10th. On July the 13th, I will have the Dust of Dreams by Lily Ann Crow book review. This is book 1 of the Will of the Wayfinder, and quite underrated in my opinion, so hopefully more people will go and pick that up. On the 17th, I have the mid-year book tag, or the mid-year freakout, whatever the tag is, that's going along. It'll be slightly late, but honestly, what's new with this channel? I tend to do things weeks after everyone else has done it, because that's just the way I roll. On Thursday the 20th, we will then have the Carved Amidst Shadows book review, which may be my favorite read of the year so far. I just really loved it. On the 23rd, there is a potential for a live show with Rogers Reads, Mark Timoney, and myself, who have been doing Malazan so far. We will have read up to Memories of Ice, so that's the first 3, and just doing a check-in and a general chat about our thoughts and our feelings given the amount of Malazan content that is on this platform, and me being quite a pleb in this world going forward, and just having a chat, which could be a bit of fun. On July the 24th, I'm looking to do a mini book haul. I haven't bought a lot of books since being in this house, but I have since found out that we're potentially here until Christmas, so I thought I might just showcase the physical books that I have bought over the span of the last 6 months and do like a mini book haul. On July the 27th, which is the Thursday, is going to be the Bones to the Wind book review. This was by Tatiana Obe and is the first book in the Forging of Age duology. Such an impactful book, very important, had a good time with it. And finishing up on July the 31st, we will have the August TBR and At a Glance video. There may very well be bloopers in there. I think I forgot to mention bloopers in the last month as well, but if I have time to do those, I will get those out to you. So I thought the series check-ins were this month. Turns out they're in August, so maybe I have a couple of more weeks to get some more series completed before I shame myself to the entire world. That's what's happening in the month of July. Thank you so much for sticking around. If you like the content, give it one of those. If you want to see more of it, click subscribe at your will. I'll catch you in the next video. Ciao.